Hi art students, it's time for another week of art, and first we're going to do Godzilla of the Week. Now, we're not voting on Godzilla of the Week because I'm running out of Godzilla, so I'm just digging them up out of my closet, okay? So here's this week's Godzilla of the Week. It is Godzilla 1975. Um, Godzilla 1975 was in the movie Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. And he's kind of a simple design, but he's kind of cool looking. He looks kind of tough, like he's going to fight. And that's mostly what this movie and a couple movies after it were like about. They're about like wrestling and fighting other monsters and stuff like that. And so this particular Godzilla was in three movies. He was in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Godzilla versus Gigan, and I think it was like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla Part Two, or I don't think they call it maybe something else. But this particular Godzilla was in three movies, and they were the most like wrestling versions. But he's pretty cool. You can see how he's kind of mean looking. This is a Billiken model, and you can tell right here. See this weird little strip? You're like, well, that's kind of stupid. Why did that strip there? Because that hid the original zipper in the suit. So like this was a suit, a rubber suit, and they would pull that piece off, and then there'd be a zipper underneath it. But again, I think those details are cool that they include in these models because it makes it look more authentic to the original Godzilla costume. Because this was before computer animation. This was back in the days where film and rubber suits and like actual explosions like near these poor guys in suits. But anyways, he's pretty neat. So that's Godzilla 1975 from the year 1975. So that's like 45 years ago. That's Godzilla. Okay, so now let's get on to the art portion of our video. Hi, fifth graders. It's time for our third week on our paper quilt. Last week we put more detail onto our quilt, but we're not done. We want to go for broke. And what does go for broke mean? That means you do more and more, all tons of effort, more than you ever thought possible. Not just like, I think that's done. No, you're going to when you think you're done, you're going to go more and more and more, and you're going to add lots of details. Basically, add lots of details. How do we add lots of details? Well, you're basically going to glue more shapes on, and then more shapes on, and you're going to overlap them, and hopefully it'll be interesting, and you'll have a lot of fun trying to figure out exactly what you want to do as you do it, but you want to be, consistent, and you're just going to, there's really nothing wrong. You just want it to be similar. If you do something over here, you want to do the same thing over here. If you overlap something here, you want to overlap it over there. And what will happen is you'll end up with a highly detailed project like this. This person, they just overlapped and overlapped and overlapped. They put a square. They could have even gone further. They could put a little. They could have put another pink one in the middle. They could have had more shapes out here, overlapping and overlapping. So this is pretty detailed, but this is good. You can see triangles here. They put triangles on top of triangles on top of. They got like 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles there. But we're gonna go for broke. We're gonna go even more detail, like more overlapping, more. She could have done more over here and over here. You want to go as far as you can. And how do you do that? Well, I recommend you prepare a bunch of shapes. Just create a bunch of shapes. You're gonna make a bunch of shapes. I'll show you. And then you're just going to start gluing them on. Now remember though, you want to glue them in the same spot. So like I said, if you glue something here, you're going to glue it over here. If you put it, like for instance, he put this shape here. Purple triangle, purple triangle, purple triangle, purple triangle. Then he went pink triangle, pink triangle. He then red, 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 black, 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 black. He's just adding it. He did these red stripes here. He could have put red stripes here, could have put another triangle here, another triangle here, could have put a square here, square, 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 triangle, triangle, triangle. Look, triangle here, more triangles, more detail. I can't emphasize that enough. Why am I emphasizing that enough? because my students tend not to do it very much. Like they're like, ah, that's good. This is pretty good, but that's not good enough. Let's go way further than this, right? And definitely don't do this. Like this is like what we kind of finished last week. So we kind of got to this point last week. And this is good. I mean, this is a good step, but you can see we need more triangles, more squares, more. It's easy to glue. It's easy. It just takes time, and I know you don't want to do that because it takes time. So you're just going to take a little bit of time to do it. So how do you prep your pieces? Well, first you can cut strips like this. Now, you could measure, or you could just try to figure out what a square is. So like I did a strip here, and I got to figure out, well, what does a square look like? Well, squares look kind of like that. Because we're going to do a lot of these. If you get pretty close, that's not a perfect square, but that's close. And then I can use this, and I can just cut more on the strip. You got a lot of excess. I told you not to throw away your scraps. So you should have a lot of this stuff. And so you're like, okay, well that's enough. I have 2 squares now. No. You're going to cut more and more and more, right? Now, if you don't have enough for a square, like this one, you can chuck it. Or maybe you're going to save it. You can cut that and make a tiny square. But whatever, I'm going to put that away for now. So I got squares, right? And I could go here. This is like is this black? Boy, this is like not very good black. Your black is way better. It's darker and more saturated. This one's a little too big. Okay, so I only got 3 squares out of this. Okay, so I got squares. Now, you can do squares. I recommend squares and triangles. So I can just cut these at a diagonal, right, to get triangles. Now I got like 6 triangles out of 3 squares. You want to have a variety of squares and triangles, different sizes. So like here, let's see. I only have enough for 1 square here. Right, so I got 1 square, but maybe I want to do 2 small squares, and then I can cut these at an angle to get 4 triangles, right? So I'm going to put those in the triangle area. And you're just going to do that. You're going to cut a bunch of little shapes until you have this. Like, or maybe even more. Maybe more than this. So I got squares, different sizes. So I got big squares, smaller squares, big triangles, smaller triangles. Well, you can't see, it's blurry. Small square, right? Just a bunch of stuff. And then we're going to layer them. And you can even do more than that. I'm just showing you. This is what I prepared because it would have taken some time. And we're going to go for broke. And we're going to see what we can do. So I've got a bunch of different. Now remember, you want to have bigger squares and smaller squares, big triangles, small triangles. You probably want to start with the bigger shapes first. So the bigger shapes. The problem is I can put this here. And you're just going to glue them down. But remember, if you do want something in one corner, you're going to repeat it in the other corner. And you're just going to be creative. Oh, if you have pencil lines, like here's a pencil line, glue it so you don't see the pencil line, right? Because otherwise you need to very carefully erase your pencil lines. So let's see how much detail I can add in 20 minutes. So I'm going to go here. Okay, see, I want to see if I can add any more of these squares. Not really. I could do this, though. Do I only have 3 of them now? Okay. I don't have very many. I got this big purple one. See, I only have 1 of this, so I should probably make 4 of these if I'm going to do more of those. I do have, so I'm going to go to my smaller shapes. So I've got black square. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I want. Ooh, this will look nice. I'm going to put that there. You can be inventive. Remember, I could glue it here. 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 If you get a little, like if you glue it here, when you're all done, just cut it off so it's like a square quilt, right? But you can totally go outside for now and then later just trim it, right? I'm going to glue it here. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I didn't add enough glue. Okay, let's see. This goes here. Ooh. I'm going to kind of do that. I'm going to improvise a little. Okay. So cut out. See, it wasn't perfectly, see how it doesn't perfectly line up? If it's close, you're okay. See, here I had to make a decision. What's more important, lining up to the pink or getting that triangle point? Well, I figured I wanted to line up to the pink more importantly. So not everything's gonna, oh, look at this one, yeah. So I mean, they're not gonna all line up perfectly. You want them to, you want to try to, right? You want to try. Okay, so now I got these big purple triangles. Okay, let's see here. Let's see, where do I want to put them? Here, I guess. Or maybe I want them to go out a little. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I got 4 of these. See, all my pieces are pre-cut, right? So I'm just grabbing them, gluing them. If you need to cut more, you can cut more later. You're like, well, I want to do more. Go for it. Use enough glue. I guess I'm kind of in a hurry because I want to show you. I don't want to bore you. But you want to use enough glue. Like, see how this one's peeling up? I'd probably put a little more glue under there. Ugh. And my paper's thinner, so like it'll curl more than your paper. Your paper's a little thicker. Let's see here. Purple. Purple. And remember, you're gonna, ooh, look at this. This doesn't match at all. So the question is, what are you gonna do? I'm just gonna do it this way. See how you have to make decisions. It's okay if it's not, you want to try to make it perfect, but it's not always perfect. See how this one's perfect? Like, oh, like perfectly lines up to the center, but this one doesn't. This one was slightly off. So I had to make a choice. Do I want to make it perfect to this, or do I want to make it perfect to this? I leave it up to you. It's probably better, you know, things are going to be overlapping all this stuff, so it's probably better to get the overall shape lined up better than to try to match it perfectly to that. So not everything's going to match up perfectly. You want it to, but if it doesn't, don't worry about it. It's okay. Okay, I got these. I should put them right here. Let's see what we got here. So I'm just being creative, and now when you glue these, see how I get that purple outline there? So I have a choice, and we talked about this last week. Like, I could line it up perfectly to that edge, or I could kind of bring it in a little bit so I still get that purple outline. And usually, if our goal is to have a lot of detail, you know, typically that's kind of what we want to do. But I'll leave it up to you. I mean, be inventive and do what you like. Let's see here. I got these big red ones. Let's see if I can use these. See, I don't want them to connect. Maybe I do want them to connect. Or maybe I can just put them right here. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So I can use I got these big red triangles. I could put them anywhere, right? Well, you want to think of what's the best place for them to be. Well, I don't know, probably here on the pink. Okay, so I got one there. Here. There. Like, I'm done, Mr. Smith. No, not even close. We're going for broke, remember? So you just want to think, I'm going to put shapes on top of shapes, on top of shapes, on top of shapes, on top of shapes. Okay, I got some of these black ones. Here they go. Make sure you glue all the way to the corners. I'm trying to be fast about it. Ooh, look, that one got trimmed. Oops. That's no good. I could replace it, but I'm not. But you might. Okay. Now what? I got these purple squares. Let's see, where do I want to put these? I kind of want to do something like diamonds. So see, if you put a square within another square but tilt it, it creates a diamond. Although that's not a perfect diamond because this is not a perfect square. But it's pretty good. It's close. Can I do it with these red ones? No, I don't want to. Okay, so here we go. diamonds in here. Okay. See if I got some better squares. Nope. So I have a choice. I could do it like a square within a square, or I could do a diamond. Diamond by turning on its side. So I'm going to do diamond. But that's where you have choices. You can like do what you want to do. Like what do you, I don't know. Hopefully that'll make it more interesting and fun, and you can kind of, basically you're going to kind of discover, that one's not perfect. You're going to kind of discover your quilt pattern because you're kind of making it up as you go along. But that's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I got these pink ones. Pink's going in the purple. Okay. Make sure your name is on the back of the paper, so when you turn it in, I know that it's from you. Now I can offset it. Ooh, maybe I'll offset it a little. Yeah, doing that. So I didn't go all the way in, so you can see how it's kind of like you can see that little corner there. Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Okay. And it's nice to have all your pieces pre-cut. Small triangles, small squares, then you can just start gluing them on. All right, so I need stuff in the middle here. I got this. Let's see what this is gonna look like. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna cut this down so it's smaller. Let's see here. That's gonna make like 4 little, and then maybe I can put a smaller red. Okay, I'm going for it. Here we go. Okay. Oop, I'm gonna try to center it. The center's, you want to put detail in the center. Like, don't neglect it. Let's see, I got this small, I got this. Maybe I can do, I kind of want to do more diamonds. Oh yeah, see that diamond looks cool. Let's do it. Diamond. Okay. Diamond. I got these black triangles. Let's see. I can do this here maybe. Yeah, that might be kind of cool. I get like 2 triangles. So that's the whole point, is that you are trying to, you're adding shapes, and you're trying to discover what your final pattern is going to look like. Let's see. These look like they're about the right size. So I'm going to go. There's different combinations and things you can do. I'm just going to leave it up to you to figure out what they are and what you want to do. There we go. Okay. This one has a little trim in it. Okay. I still want to put something in there. Let's see. I want a black square. I'm just going to cut one. So again, I could do square. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's not a perfect square. Let me make it a little more perfect. Well, try to, okay. And then I still want, I'm going for broke, right? So let's see. I think a little bit of a pink might look cool in there. I guess I'm just going to cut this guy up. Shoot. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to do that in the middle. There. So that's a lot of detail. I can even go further, but I don't know. I mean, I could probably put something small in there. I could put small little pink triangles in here. I could put little red triangles in here. I mean, but this is approaching high detail, right? Okay, so I still got some of these. Let's see. I'm gonna put some purple triangles in here. All right. So let's see here. Um, Make sure you use enough glue. I'm not, because like see how it's kind of lifting up a little? Make sure, oh no. Really? Okay, there we go. Make sure everything's glued down nicely. Not too bumpy, but basically get to the corners. Oh man. Okay. Okay, there we go. So, you want your details to get down really tiny to like I could put stuff in here, whether they are little boxes. I want to use red though. So let's see here. I'm going to take here. So I got a red box, right? Well, I need 4 small boxes. Okay, well fine. I'm going to cut this in half. And then I'm going to cut these in half, and that'll give me 4 tiny little detail boxes that I can put. Let's see, I kind of want to put them here. So you want to get super tiny detail. You're going for broke. And it will look really good when you're done. It just takes a little bit of time. Listen to some music or something in the background while you're working on this. But all these little details will pay off, meaning they will look good in the end. Okay, let's see here. There. More, I say, more. I can put stuff, I can put little squares in here. I can put little triangles in here. I could put a box here, right? More everywhere. And then make sure it's nice and glued down. But you can see how cool it looks. Like, you'll be proud of this. Remember, it's just squares, triangles. If you have a square but you need a tiny square, take a square, cut it in fourths. So like you cut it in half, and then you cut those in half, like you get like a strip, and then you cut that in half. So from one square you can get smaller squares. Let's see, what about triangles? Not so much. Let's see, I can do, oh, I can kind of cut it in half this way. Yeah, all right, duh. Smaller triangles, cut them in half. Tiny triangles, right? These will look good. So I can put these anywhere. I can put them here. Yeah, right? See, it feels, see, you're like, oh, that's good enough. Until you see what it looks like. There's like a black, like another shape in there, and like, oh, that looks better. See? That's going for broke. You wanna go all the way and add all those details. When you're done though, if you have a little extra that's going beyond your square, I guess I can flip it over. You just trim those off, but trim it carefully. So I'm gonna trim that off. Got a little right here, just trim it off. You want it to be a square. I mean, it is a quilt after all, a paper quilt, right? But when we're done, hopefully, and your paper is nicer than my paper, so it should look even more awesome than mine, because your paper will be higher, like your pigments will be higher quality. But that's it. So go for broke. Tons of detail. Make sure they're all glued down. Like, it's like, oh, what's this? It's like, oh man, put a little bit of glue there and glue it down, right? Glue down all your parts so that it's mostly, it's all glued down. Like, then make sure your name is on the back so I can give you an awesome grade on it. Your name and then the class. You're in Johnson's class, put a J, circle it. If you're in Verveldi's, a V, circle it. Kuhlme's, put a K, circle it, right? And that's it. So we'll turn it in, and hopefully it will be beautiful. You can take pictures of it and send the pictures to me. Now, I say that this is due December 17th, which is right before Christmas break. If you finish it before then, great. You can send me a picture, or if you get a chance to bring it to school, great. If not, you can turn it in after Christmas break. So you can turn it in the week after Christmas break, right? I just want you to put in a lot of work and effort and detail. So that's fine. It says it's due December 17th, but you can turn this in to me. I'm looking at my calendar. Anytime January 4th to the 7th, right? So you can turn it to me that first week we come back from. So, But just make sure you put a ton of work into it, and turn it in. Put your name on the back. Make sure it's all glued down, and this will be a real neat project. And hopefully it was fun to discover the different patterns and shapes. Remember, tiny little bits, right? Cut squares into triangles, cut squares into smaller triangle, or smaller triangles, and triangles into smaller triangles, and squares into smaller squares. Glue them all on very carefully and neatly. Right? Remember, repeat it, and turn it in, and we'll see how awesome this looks. Have a great week and have a great Christmas break. I'll see you when we come back from Christmas. Talk to you later. Bye.